I'm Matt.
And I'm Chris.
We're best friends.
And brothers in the fire service. And this is the 360 Podcast. Welcome to 360 Podcast. I'm Chris. As always, I'm with my buddy Matt. We have a very special guest today. This is Torrey Foster with Solveglobal. Torrey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming, buddy. We appreciate you being here. Why don't you tell us what your business does?
Sure.
And how you're working with AFMA?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've used your product, so to speak, and had great results.
And if you haven't used it, you've seen the emails.
Yeah,
we do reach out. Yes.
The text messages, the emails.
Yeah.
It's a great way to make sure everybody's informed. So please tell us.
You're prefacing it well. So Solveglobal, we're a company of physical therapists that the Healthcare Trust has put in place to help all of you to move and feel better. So what does that mean? That means that we have the ability to help people, whether they're not feeling the best at home, at work, or with their recreational activities. We'll meet people at a fire station. We can do it virtually. And we also partner with Spooner, which is a physical therapy company that has 27 clinics across the valley. In fact, on the way here, right 1 mile up the road, 1 mile north of here, there's our Ocotillo clinic. So we're really close to where we're doing this podcast right now. And so we really try to take away the barriers. So the first barrier is people are always concerned about cost. It's paid for, so there's no out-of-pocket cost for anybody that's on the Healthcare Trust with AFMA.
Okay.
2, we try to take care of the challenge with, geography, right? Convenience. I just mentioned that. And the third thing is we want to be a trusted resource. So we're physical therapists. So when your knee hurts, your back hurts, the problem with the way that healthcare is consumed right now traditionally is it hurts, I deal with it, I pop some meds. Go see my physician, they're going to be like, well, let's do an x-ray. It doesn't show anything. All right, now I'm going to send you to a specialist. They're going to do an MRI. Yep, all right, you've got some, a little bit of mild degenerative changes in your lower back. Go to PT. How long has that been? Too long. You reach out to me, I'm going to say, okay, when do you want to meet? You want to meet today, tomorrow, next week? What works for you? The biggest thing is something that's small can sometimes get to be a bigger issue. So an example that's very common is, gosh, I tweaked my back many years ago. It took a while to take care of it, but then it went away. Every now and again, it comes back. But what happens over time is it happens more frequently, takes a little longer to go away, and you just kind of know it's going to take some time. Until that time, it doesn't go away.
Sure.
The key is, can we get a little bit further ahead of that and to work with you to give you the right strategies? And sometimes people are like, well, PT, that's 2 to 3 times a week for X amount of time, right? 4, 6, 8 weeks. No. A lot of times we're working with people, giving them the right strategy, what they should do or what they shouldn't do. And that might be a quick 5-minute phone call. It might be a 30-minute consult. It might take a little longer or shorter, depending on what the person's needs are. And we average probably seeing people 3 or 4 times because we're getting ahead of it. It hasn't become a big tipping point. Mm-hmm. The biggest challenge we have, you already mentioned, is that people usually just kind of learn to live with the discomfort. So we've done a couple hundred movement screens for firefighters this year. And I was talking to one gentleman, he said, the thing about it, we're all dealing with something. We just don't want to admit it, or we don't have the time to take care of it. I'm like, sure, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a long-winded summary of kind of what we do and a little bit of how we do it. But, we're here to help you. That's the big thing.
How did this company come to be? Was it a group of therapists that got together and just kind of decided? And is it all first responder based? Is it just kind of for anybody?
So you go to Solveglobal and look us up. But we're a company of physical therapists that we work with more in the direct to employer space.
Okay.
So for example, we're across the country, but locally, my group works predominantly with the firefighters. We work with teachers and administrators, and we're in a beverage distributing company as well.
Okay.
And so, most of the time what we do is we put a provider on site, and we just help to triage the needs of the individuals there. The challenge is you're all spread
super far out
everywhere, right? So we had to come up with something that's going to be more creative to meet the needs of your group. And that's why it's one of those things where whether it's at a fire station virtually or on site at one of our Spooner partner clinics, we're here to help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you find that, I feel like in our world a lot, right? For us, we don't need something, and then one of us uses it, and it's like, it's great, and then everybody uses it. Has that been true for you guys as well? Does the interest come in waves?
Yeah, I really appreciate you asking that. So you mentioned it in our intro that what differentiates us from what we call some competitors, right? Some other company does something similar. Is we really try to get upstream or ahead of things, which means we do a monthly check-in to see how you're moving and feeling. That'll come to either your email or your mobile phone. I understand that you get a lot of messages, and so that's going to get washed out, drowned out with that. But the reason we do that is it's kind of similar. You get in your vehicle, you're going to make sure it has enough gas to get from point A to point B, enough air in the tires. You go to the physician, they'll check your heart rate, your blood pressure. This is our way to see how you're moving and feeling. Most of the time, people are not proactive, just reaching out until it hits that tipping point. So if you're like, my shoulder hurts a little bit when I lift overhead, our system does data analytics to say, guess what? Matt's got a problem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to Matt and say, hey, what's going on? Can I help you out? And what works for you? Now we've done that gentle nudge. And now you've at least gone from that contemplation to now we're creating action and we can help. The problem is that very few people are filling it out. Let me be very honest.
For sure.
It doesn't happen. So what happens is once you experience it, next time somebody's like, my back hurts, well, gosh, you need to reach out to Chris Eversman, who's the physical therapist who's specifically dedicated to AFMA. So you reach out to Chris, he will help you. Then once you have that situation, more and more people experience it. It's a little more awareness, then it kind of snowballs. Because really it's more about that personal experience. It's hard to become a trusted resource until people experience it.
Yeah. Which is speaking on Chris. He's a great guy. He's a great resource. When we first started working with you guys, I reached out. Same, you just mentioned shoulder issue, little impingement. I did about a half a dozen sessions with him. Got better mobility. Very convenient. Very easy to speak to. Just a great overall product.
Yeah, and it was quick. I've used it twice, and it was like I filled out the form and I thought like, okay, I'll hear something in a week or two, right? Like it's got to go through the email chain and back into the universe. But no, it was filled out a form that day. He texted me and said, "Can I call you this afternoon?" And that afternoon, I was doing like push-ups in my kitchen so he could see what was bothering me and why. I was like, I wasn't prepared for this. And then I did one session down at a Spooner Therapy, and he gave me a list of, hey, do these stretches, work in these exercises. And there was a couple follow-up conversations, but it was solid. It was quick. It was a good turnaround.
Yeah, what we've learned is that when people have concerns, a lot of times they think, well, this was put in, it's confidential, right? We're physical therapists. So whether it's the check-in or anything we do with you, that's between you and us, or specifically, usually Chris. What we've learned is it's not usually a job-specific concern. A vast, vast majority of the time, it's, you know what? My hip hurts when I squat. My knee hurts when I run. My back hurts when I stand too long. And so it's most of the time it's workouts is what I'm trying to say. But I relate it back to a job where, okay, your shoulder hurts when you work out and do A, B, and C. But what happens when you go take the ladder off the truck? Well, guess what? That might tweak at something down the road as well. So we want to get ahead of it. We're here to help that out. But we really need people to communicate with us so we can best help them. We want to. We're put in place to do that. Once again, no cost for our services. The only cost is your time, really.
Yeah. Now, is there any other potential costs, like once you guys start to do the evaluation, right? And maybe it's something that Chris feels, okay, we might need to take another step. So could there potentially be additional charges?
There could potentially be other steps. Sometimes, we look at that as that, okay, we're more on the preventative side. So you're coming in, we're working with you. Well, let's say you've got just a really bad thing. I don't know, you were skiing on the weekend, you tweaked your knee pretty bad. The nice thing is we have trusted resources when it comes to physicians. So we can, instead of you waiting 6 weeks to see somebody, we can text or email somebody and say, hey, can we get Chris in? And we've already done that even with the last couple of weeks with a few people. The other aspect is, let's say you have surgery that is more of a plan of care where you probably need to go into the
Sure.
clinic and receive care on a regular basis. You just go through your insurance plan for that side of things. So
For sure.
in that regard, there you might work towards your deductible, but when it comes to what we're trying to do, our goal is as best we can, when possible, we try to keep you out of the medical system,
Sure.
which is wasted time and money.
But you do have the contacts and the resources,
Mhm.
like you said, to speed that
Absolutely.
up if need be.
Yeah, and the thing about it is there are certain aspects that, for example, Chris and I don't do. So we had somebody from a group, and this person was having pelvic floor issues. And so we did refer this individual to a specialist with Spooner that did go through the insurance plan. But
Okay.
the person got the right care at the right time. So what we want to do is give you the right care, the right time, the right provider every time. And we can definitely kind of quarterback that for the individual.
That's nice to know.
Yep.
That's good resources, actually.
Do you guys work with? You said it's with the healthcare trust, so
Mhm.
all the other districts that fall into that healthcare trust, you guys work with also.
That is correct.
Yep.
That's a lot of first responders.
Yeah.
So what we've had to do for more of our at a distance is, for example, we've hired a few people that are on site for like people that are up in that northern corridor,
Okay.
kind of that Sedona, Copper Canyon, Verde Valley, and then up down south. We also work with, for example, Santa Rita, Drexel Heights.
Oh, wow.
And so we have people that are in those areas that support those groups, although Chris and I are still present and available
Sure.
because they're only on site for a short period of time. But we do, you're right, because as the trust has grown, our demand or this demand for our services has grown, which is great, but we want to make sure that we're meeting the needs of the people we're serving.
Awesome. So, big AFMA specific, I mean, we seem to be continuously growing. Since the first time I met you, we brought in another city, actually, like a little Guadalupe joined. So, as that need for AFMA keeps growing, are you thinking about bringing on future therapists, or do you currently have that in place?
So that's what happened with what I just mentioned, right? So we have to have the ability for if we're too busy and we can't meet the needs in a timely manner, which we want to do, yeah, absolutely, we will expand
Sure.
our group to make sure we're meeting those needs. Right now, we can, which is wonderful. One thing that we did actually just started is, for example, the West Side. Chris is now dedicating time at our Spooner Glendale Clinic, which is right by the Cardinal Stadium,
Nice.
on Tuesdays.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So on Tuesdays, he's there. We just started that this past week. And so if it's more convenient for people, therefore, boom, we can just kind of, the challenge also, to be honest, because Chris is driving everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Is
Sure.
we want to be strategic with him and for all of you.
Sure.
So like I mentioned, Ocotillo Clinic's boom right here. Chris is going to be at that Glendale office. So we try to, once again, do the best we can to help people even though they're spread out. Because somebody might work here but live in who knows where as well, depending on your shift.
Oh, yeah, they're
Yeah.
spread out all
Yeah.
over the valley.
Yep, yep.
I went to the one up off of in Desert Ridge, and I feel like Matt and I are the only ones who live in the North
Yeah.
Valley out of everybody in
That's the one I
AFMA.
used also, yeah.
Every time we tell somebody where we live, we're like, where's that? North Phoenix, man. Come on. You
Yeah,
know?
and I'm at our sports institute. So I have a kind of a mix of roles for our company, but that's basically 32nd Street between Broadway and Southern, just south of the airport as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
So Chris is, that's more Central Valley. So Chris meets a lot of people there as well.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. How did you guys break into, like, was it a plan to be dedicated to first responders? Was there a family connection?
Yeah,
How did this
Honestly,
happen?
most of the time, that's how things happen, right?
Okay.
It's connection. There's a need, and conversations happen, and then from there, we worked really close with Don to make sure that we were the right fit for you, and that we could meet the needs. And so, we do a lot of work with collaboration. It's been a little while now, but a while back, I presented the union to make sure that we were, communicating, educating. I was surprised, by when I'm talking to people, we've been in place for over a year, right? So when we look at that, we've been here to help, but you get so much information at open enrollment meetings. And it's like, okay, what do I got to check? What do I have?
Yeah.
So really what we try to do is find more creative ways to meet. And so a lot of times it might be the wellness chief or something like that really helps us to deliver a message. One, when you get this message, it's not spam, it's not a trick, it's legit. Solveglobal legit, first off. Another part is that the screens we've done now for, like I mentioned, we've done a couple hundred. That's been super powerful for us because we've been able to take a look at individuals, and what's different from our screens and maybe some other things you've done that maybe with your PFTs or outside resources, is that we come in, we do our movement screen to see what needs happen to be. And then right in the moment, we provide recommendations.
Okay.
So if there's a mobility need, a flexibility, posture, strength, stability might be, we're going to say, hey, try these things. This is the why behind it. This is the how.
Sure.
Go do it. And then sometimes people have, like we were doing a screen I was doing the screen on a gentleman, and I shook his hand, and it wasn't a normal shake that I was expecting. So we do grip testing, and the grip strength wasn't there. And we were talking about it, and nothing was mentioned to me. And I'm like, you have some elbow pain? He's like, yeah, it's been going on for a while. I checked it, and it's like every time I lift something, he didn't want to complain about it, right? It's when you lift something, it's some epicondylitis. So if it's on the outside of the elbow, it's lateral epicondylitis or tennis elbow. This is medial epicondylitis or golfer's elbow. I don't know why we call it that anymore, because this really rarely happens with those respective sports. But anyway, and so we were able to go from that screen. I got him with Chris for some appropriate treatment. He was able to feel much better much sooner. But these screens give us the opportunity, one, to educate about our services, who we are.
Sure.
The things we find, these little things that could become bigger things down the road. That takes forever to go away if you don't treat it properly. I'm telling you,
it's pretty painful.
Yeah. Other things like, plantar fasciitis at the heel is another one that people just kind of walk through. Let's take care of that. There are things we can really do to help that out. So, the screens have been helpful for us. We'd be happy to do that with, anything that you can provide or Matt Liccardi can do to just help us to do that, because that's a big thing. What's the time? Give us a half hour to do a screen and to give some recommendations. It's well worth the time for everybody. I mean, everybody that came through, they kind of look at like, okay, what's this going to be about?
For sure.
But then once they go through, they're like, oh, yeah, I can definitely incorporate that in my regular routine.
So could you like just walk our audience through, if we have somebody who sees the text come out on the first, right?
Yeah.
They see the text and they say, you know what? I saw this on the podcast. Here's what I'm going to do. What's the process, start to finish?
Oh, great question. So somebody fills out the check-in. It's a real quick. If they have no concerns, click no. Just get in the habit of doing it. If they have any concerns, it's like 8 quick questions. Okay, kind of like, all right, back hurts when I bend over. It happens daily, and it's been going on a long time. Simple things. There's a comment section, things like that. That comes to us, and then Chris will take a look at that, reach out and say, hey, just kind of like you mentioned earlier, I noticed this. Can I reach out to you? Call, text, email. What's going to be the best way for us to coordinate this? And then we really try to press the easy button the best we can. Really, really easy. Yeah. And then we get them in the clinic. Once again, we spent, or maybe a station or virtual. I will tell you that about half of Chris's sessions are virtual.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah. Like so many times people are like, I don't know. Chris like, hey, let's just take a look like you did, right?
Sure.
Let's do some push-ups. People don't realize how much you can do. Most of the time when we do this, it's about try this. Please don't do this for a little while.
Sure.
Whatever it might be. And once we provide the guidance, if the people are good, most of the time when we're doing this, these are people that are engaged. They're like, yeah, I'm not feeling my best. What should I do about it? People want information. Dr. Google, AI is out there. The thing is, we got to look at the person, the task, and the environment, and make sure it's an individualized or personalized situation for them. Yeah, it's one of those things where the internet doesn't do that for you as much as you try.
But I think you spoke on it, like a lot of people, and guilty included. I need that guidance.
Yeah,
it's not my profession, right? I don't understand. I just know it hurts. So to talk to a professional and say, what can I do, even if it's just a virtual meeting, and have you do a couple of little exercises while they watch you to help fix that problem. That's so invaluable. It's so awesome.
We are a seated society. We sit down, and then we find another place to sit. So we're sitting in our vehicle, we're sitting grabbing a bite to eat, we're looking at our phones, right?
Yeah.
So what'll happen is that our muscles in the front side of our thighs get really tight. And most people don't know how to optimally stretch that. Our
guilty.
Abs, our glutes maybe have an opportunity to improve. People will work on certain things, but once again, we create that personalized situation that you all need. The thing about it is you shouldn't feel that irritation or that tightness, that discomfort when you statically stand for a period of time.
Okay.
So there's ways. Now, here's the other thing is that people will talk about, well, the physician said I have some mild DJD, joint disease or degenerative disc disease or whatever it might be. Osteoarthritis, you really can't change. Osteoporosis, you can create bone mineral density, but we can't. However, the disc in your spine, the cartilage in your knees, those are passive shock absorbers. So when you don't have as much, they're not there. What are your active shock absorbers? Your muscles. So I use the example for people all the time that if you're driving and you go over a speed bump, sometimes you get a little more of a jolt than you want. So you decide, I know next time I go over that, I'm going to go a little slower. If I can't, maybe I'll drive around it, or maybe I'll just drive a completely different way. So what do? We maybe slow down what we're doing with an activity. We modify what we do. We stop doing it.
Okay.
So what we need to do is if we get better shocks and struts in the vehicle, you go over that speed, you're still going to feel it, but it'll be a little softer impact. Same thing body. If you get better shocks and struts in your muscles in the right places, front to back, side to side, top to bottom, so there's less asymmetry, then you can better dissipate, control those ground reaction forces while you're standing, walking, jumping, running, different things. But so many times people are going to the gym and they're doing, which is good, they're working out, love that part of it. But our bodies move front to back, side to side through rotation. And if we're not stretching, mobilizing, or exercising in some capacity in those 3 planes of motion, it's like getting stuck in the mud and you just keep your tire right there and spinning. It's you're just kind of wearing down. Let's find a way to create different movements that your body needs and wants so that when you have the challenges in life, at home, with your work, with your leisure, you can be more successful at it with less strain. When you work out, you're trying to cause tissue adaptations in a good way. You shouldn't be feeling pain.
Sure.
You should do something you enjoy. You should do something that's comfortable. And hopefully you're doing something for whatever goal you're trying to achieve.
I hate stretching.
Yep.
But when I do it, it works so good. Do you feel that the lack of people stretching before workouts, after workouts can attribute to a lot of these issues that people have?
It is one of the major factors. And part of the stretching is just giving yourself a better posture. For example, we mentioned the pecs in the front. We mentioned the front of the thighs, hip flexors, quads. If we look at somebody later in life, where are they? They're tipped over. They're sitting more, tissue gets tight. And so a lot of times we're trying to create a better posture position to give you better success, first off. And so, yeah, a lot of times we're doing these different sessions. It is a lot about posture, flexibility, mobility. Sometimes it's a little bit of some strengthening specific to a need or a task. Sometimes it's a little bit of stability that people maybe aren't focusing on because they want to do those big core lifts, but they're really not working on control of movement. That is specific to what they're trying to do. So yeah, it is extremely, extremely important to do that. But most people aren't doing it. So I use the example, all right, if I had the two of you, and once again, we go outside right now, and I said, okay, I'm going to give you $1,000 if whoever wins this race, and I want you to run 100 yards, okay? And you're going to race each other. What's the first thing you want to do? Because you're probably going to want to prepare your body. You're going to take a moment. You're going to stretch. You're like, I'll probably strain a hamstring. I'll strain a quad.
I know I'll strain a hamstring. Yeah, right. That's it.
So, okay, why don't we prepare our bodies better for whatever we're going to do? Now, don't get me wrong. You're going to get a call. You got to go. Okay. Yeah. When we talked about earlier, most people their primary concern when they work with this is usually a workout situation. So looking at that, they're like, well, I squat light before I squat heavy. Good, you should. However, have you done something else to better prepare your body? And so when we take people through stretches, even if they've been doing something, a lot of times people are doing some really good things. It's just, we're like, hey, let's tweak that one little way. Or can we give you one additional stretch? The thing is time, right? We only have so much time. So when we go work out, it's like, hey, I have this. I know I got to get in and out in this amount of time. So we don't want to give you this big, 30-minute. Can we do something that's going to add just a couple minutes that's going to help you to move and feel better and prevent risk down the road? Huge, huge importance.
Yeah, so you're saying $1,000 right now. I could take him. He's in boots. There's no chance he's going to beat me.
These boots, yeah.
Probably. How far do we have to run, though?
Right. Well, you met shoe where I don't want to go down a slippery slope, but so many times that's a factor as well. I know there's the boots you got to wear, but when you're wearing shoes, people don't realize there's neutral or cushion, stability, motion control shoes. And when we look at that, what's better for the individual?
Sure.
So many times people are wearing the cushion, neutral shoes that are really light, very flexible. But every now and again, there's a foot type. We live on a hard surfaced ground that we've created. So sometimes you need a little different shoes. We can create some awareness. What is going to be better for you? If you're a runner, there's some really good running stores. There's nuances like you got a runner, right? Your knee hurts. All right, let's take a look at a lot of different components of it. But your foot type, your shoe is one piece of that information we'll look at.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the passive versus active shock absorbing too. I think that's important. And I think we overlook, at least in our world, right? We all have like a love-hate relationship with stretching, and I do as well. Like I'll go through a phase where my back hurts or something, and I'm like, hey, yoga's on the TV at 1:00. We're all doing yoga until we all feel better, and then we're like, we're not going to touch it again. And 3 or 4 months go by, and everybody's sore again, and we're like, oh, time for weekly yogas until we feel better. And if we would just do it consistently, we'd probably be better off.
Gosh, you hit that so well. I talk about, whatever you do, if you eat one healthy meal, it doesn't make you healthy. Right? You got to be on that nutrition plan for a period of time to really create the changes you want. The thing about it also is the consistency with the stretching, with workouts, whatever you're doing. It is truly that consistency. We have people all the time that work with us, and we go, hey, you're whatever. Your shoulder pain came back. Yeah, I stopped doing what was helping me in the first place.
Okay.
So it's got to become a habit. The big thing is, you might know the how, but have you really bought into the why? And that's the thing. So, why do you brush your teeth every day? Why do you do certain things? Well, because you're trying to be preventive. You don't want those cavities. You just, I'm going to brush my teeth, or I want my breath to smell better, whatever it might be. Stretches are such an important part, but you've got to find the ones that your body specifically needs. You might need a little bit of different than me than you.
Yep. So that brings me to another question is, let's say someone, hopefully guys and gals take advantage of this.
Yeah.
And you do a couple sessions and then you stop the sessions. Are you done? Are you only limited to a certain amount, or can you kind of restart and say, hey, Chris, like I'm having an issue again with the same spot, or a new issue has arose within the same calendar year, I guess?
Yeah, it's episodic. So there's not what we would consider like a cap on what we do. So for example, you tweak your shoulder, the next year you tweak your knee, or a few months later you tweak your knee. We're there to help out. If it comes back, once again, we got to ask, okay, why did it come back? Maybe you stop doing what you're doing. Maybe it's a little different ailment that we're working on. So yeah, we want to basically take care of you as you're moving forward. So I tell people, you take your body, got ahead of myself. You take your vehicle into the shop for some fine tuning. Okay, what do? All my air's blowing my tires, or maybe I need a new tire. It keeps you on the road. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to take care of your bodies so that you can just come in for a quick consult, 2, 3, whatever it might be, go do what you got to do. You're moving and feeling better. Come back in, do a few consults. You're feeling better, move on.
Okay. And
we want to help you throughout your lifetime, because we want to be that primary musculoskeletal specialist for you.
Okay.
So you have the easy button. Boom, you're a VIP. So just like there's a physical therapist that takes care of a professional sports team or a collegiate team, same thing, we're here. We're your physical therapists, take care of your team.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And it's not just, I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but it's not just field employees, right? Like our administrative staff can use the support services. The mechanics are lifting just as much heavy stuff as we are. They'd be great candidates.
Probably the biggest thing we see with administrators is they have discomfort sitting too long, or that initial getting up from sitting. One or the other, probably the biggest two things that we see. So we also can do our ergonomic workstation ergonomic assessments and take a look. Are there strategies that we can easily incorporate or recommend that can help them be more comfortable with their workspace?
What else would you like to tell our guests about your awesome benefit, your company?
No, I appreciate you asking. I just go back to what I said earlier, right? One, there's no cost to you to work with us. Your healthcare trust is already paid for our services to help you. 2, we want to make it easy. So whether we meet you at a fire station, we do it virtually, or we meet you at one of our student partner clinics, 27 across the valley, we're here to meet with you. And the other part is, it doesn't matter whether it happened at home, you're having some problems at work with your comfort, something you're doing with your recreational activity, something that happened yesterday, it happened 10 years ago. We are there to help you. So whatever it is, when in doubt, reach out so we can best help you to move and feel your best, give you your best quality of life. We want you to have career longevity. And when you get to retirement, we want you to enjoy it. So that's really important for us to help you. It's not lip service. We want to help.
Love that.
I do too.
Longevity is huge.
It is. I mean, and we've always talked about, I know a lot of guys, when they're guys and gals, when try and get on this job, they refer to their body as a tool, right? So we're using these tools, and it's nice to be able to have these programs put into place for us. Really super easy. Both of us used it. I couldn't say enough about it. He's mentioned Chris a couple times. He's such a great guy to work with. makes everything super easy to do, and you get yourself feeling better. And I like the fact that if tomorrow I do tweak my knee or something, it's a quick little text message or phone call to Chris and say, hey man, you got any availability? I got to kind of work through this. So you guys do make it very, very simple, and it's very efficient too.
Most of you should have our information at your stations. If not, let these gentlemen know or me know. We'll happily help out.
Yeah.
The other thing is I'm sure both of you have Chris's mobile numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the other thing is it's not like you've got to go through our general information. You work with us now, literally in their phones, they can reach out to Chris any day, anytime, and get a hold of him.
We absolutely appreciate you coming out. We will get working on this. We'll keep spreading the good news. I hope you have happy holidays. And
likewise.
Yeah, man. We're looking forward to it.
Life's busy, but once again, we want to enjoy it. We want to move and feel our best. Appreciate y'all having me out here to talk about it.
Absolutely. This is great.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.